Hi guys, it's Andy Wood. I'm doing a video here as a follow-up to my weekend live QA celebration that I did on March 28th and 29th. And what was that all about? Good question. I basically kind of had three things I wanted to do. One was a couple of milestones, if you will. One of them is that for the last 8 years, so this would be the 8-year anniversary of being in business, I own and operate a comic book store called Gamer Circle Comics. So now it might make sense why my Twitch is /Gamer Circle, my YouTube is /Gamer Circle. Gamer Circle and me are kind of the same. Yes, it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy very much talking about comic books, comic book related TV shows and movies, the all what if sort of this did this or who did this sort of thing. It's my little saga soap opera world, and I enjoy it quite a bit. It's a lot of fun, like I said, but it's also a lot of work because I am at the comic book store 7 days a week. I'm a one-man show. If I'm not there, I'm not selling comic books. So, but it's rewarding because it's something that I've created, and I'm prospering hopefully, and I'm persevering, and I just really enjoy it quite a bit. And I think anyone can take what they love and they can create something from it, and hopefully that's what I'm doing. The next thing is that about a year ago, maybe a little bit more now, I started recording some of my gameplay and I started putting it up on YouTube, and I learned and I've changed my processes on how I do things, and as a result, my YouTube channel actually just went over the 1,400 subscriber mark as of this recording. And again, that's something I'm very proud of because it's not easy. A lot of people might not know that people that do these YouTube recordings for gameplay and for the skits or anything that they do on YouTube just isn't a matter of sitting in front of a camera and then uploading it to YouTube. There's a lot of work involved, and some people that do know what goes involved really appreciate it. So when they see a video from a collaborator or from a a fellow YouTuber, well, they could be a yellow YouTuber, I don't know. They appreciate it because it's one of those things to where you just don't do lightly. You just don't say, hey, I'm going to do this. It's kind of a, without getting deep, it could be a life-changing experience. Maybe that is too deep, but it's fun, because people will comment, whether they come through Twitter or email or YouTube, and you have to really you have to kind of read some of this feedback with a grain of salt, because sometimes people will just say, you suck. Okay, I suck. Why do I suck? And that's all they say. And we get that quite a bit, to be honest with you. Or they'll ask some very personal questions and stuff like that. And you don't want to not be, interactive with them. But a lot of people just don't understand that sometimes sharing that stuff just isn't what one should do or should do. So anyways, that was a couple things. The third thing was that just in case people forgot or could not attend the weekend celebration thing, I came up with a hashtag on Twitter called Ask Andy Wood, and a few of you asked some questions. So I was going to answer those here now. So one of the questions came from Kempy64. Hi, Kempy. He asked, have you ever raged at a game, and if so, which one? Yes, I have raged at a game. I don't think there's a person or a gamer that hasn't had at least a little bit of rage, a little bit of frustration in one way or another, because that's what most games are kind of engineered towards, I think. The game in question is called Magic: The Gathering Online. And let me clarify, because I know a lot of people might know what Magic is, but it's not actually the one that you can get on Steam that's called Magic 2014 or 15 or 13. There's actually a whole separate game called MTGO, or Magic: The Gathering Online. Yes, I know you can play the other Magic games online. Yes, I know you can play those games against or with other people, but the other one is actually more structured for people that play Magic in the different sorts of tournament formats like Standard, Extended, Vintage, Classic, and whatnot. And those actually, you have to know the rules, where in Magic 2013 to 14, 15, they kind of help you with the rules. And these are the same but different. I don't know if that makes any sense. And when I was ramping up my Magic skills, I guess, I was playing against live people, and I had some really bad decks, I had some really good decks, and I would always get bad draws, and it was just very frustrating. In fact, whenever I played the game, at the time when I had a dog, whenever she would hear the game sound effects come up, she knew the rage was coming, so she would actually leave the room. So yes, Magic: The Gathering Online was my rage, I guess. Thomas Scaturo, and by the way, if I pronounce these names wrong, sorry, asked, do you like flying potatoes with ketchup? Absolutely. Matthew Bristol asks, what is your favorite console? I've actually owned a few consoles. I owned the original Nintendo 64. I owned a Sega Genesis. And for the longest time, the Sega Genesis was my go-to console. I was not a fan, and still not quite a big fan, of side-scrolling, two-dimensional kind of, pattern, jumping, hopping. I don't get any satisfaction out of those games. So I always played a lot of strategy type games, or sports games like football or stuff like that, until Microsoft announced the Xbox, and I saw that they were going to have this game called Halo. And ever since I got the original Xbox, which I still own, by the way, and yes, it still works, and yes, I still have my original Halo CD, and there's a reason why. Once I got that, and the graphics I saw were amazing, and what it had to offer at the time was just incredible, and I almost, because of the Xbox, I almost said goodbye to PC gaming. I still kept up with my PC gaming, but I shifted more to console gaming than I did PC gaming, and I think it was just because at the time PC gaming was harder. Not that the games were harder, just keeping up with the hardware, the drivers, all the different chips and all the different graphic cards and all the different configurations and stuff like that, because when you tried to play with your friends, you never had the same setups. People were always crashing when you're trying to do stuff online. It was very frustrating, to where on the console that never happened. So the Xbox. So why do I still have my original Xbox? Why do I have my original Halo game still? Well, many years later, I found out I could actually take my Xbox, and without even cracking it open, I could hack it and turn it into a media center called, and it's a project now, it's huge, actually, called the XBMC, the Xbox Media Center. And there's much better solutions now, but the software actually isn't now restricted to just the Xbox. So for a while there, I used my Xbox to stream my movies and stuff like that, which was really cool. But to do that, you needed, I think there was 2 or 3 different games to do it. And one of them was Halo. So that's why I kept it around. The Laughing Eagle asked, do you play games with other people? If so, would you ever enjoy playing a game with them? I love playing games. Now, I think I explained earlier that I actually work 7 days a week, and I have a pretty rigid schedule. Because if I want to upload fresh videos all the time, I have to have some kind of a schedule. So sitting down and playing games with people, I would love to, but I have to kind of work it into my schedule. I usually get more time when there's a holiday around, but again, that's always a bad time for other people because they're out celebrating. And since I'm primarily a PC gamer, what I have found that a lot of people that follow me on Twitter or on YouTube are actually more console gaming. So I can't quite find a match, and I haven't figured out a good way to do it yet. I've done some collaborations with some fellow YouTubers in the past, and it was via Steam, and we've played some Prop Hunt and stuff like that, and it was fun. So I'm not a total introvert. I play games with people. Natasha Olivia asks, what is your favorite video game? All right, so one of the things that I also celebrated this last weekend, in addition to my YouTube channel hitting a milestone, 8 years anniversary of being in business, it was also my birthday this weekend. So I have a personal shout out to Soulseeker D. She is a fellow YouTuber. She's real new. I highly recommend you go over and check out her gameplay. She's currently playing Dying Light, so if you watch this many years later, it's probably dated and she's probably not playing that game. But she brought me a bunch of food. Her and her husband came over and visited, and we talked all sorts of nerdy stuff. It was really cool. So I have food. Anyway, so I'm not as young as I act. I'm actually a very old gentleman. My favorite game of all time, and I really wish somebody would remaster it, remake it, whatever. It's called Captive. And actually you'll find I did a little flashback, a Throwback Thursday retro gameplay of it, and it's actually a really cool game, and I won't go into details with it because I think I explained everything about the game as I was playing the game. So it's called Captive. It's my favorite game because of all the things that it offered way back then. I think a lot of times we take for granted now because you just kind of expect it. And that's it. That's all the questions and answers from Twitter from the hashtag AskAndyWood that there was. Again, thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any other questions, you can put them down below. I'll answer them. You guys have a good one. Enjoy.